in the word a lot faster when you do them live. Well, yeah, because you get one take and that's it. I can't go edit it, so I'm very careful when I do it live. I decided today I would also give a shout out to Danny. Pre-workout in the Word. There you go, Danny. Anyway, we've been talking about godly training, and I know you're amazed at my titles. It's real clickbait, Godly Training 1, Godly Training 2. I need to work on that. Maybe I'll get Danny to help me with that. But anyway, we've been talking about this concept of godly training, and I started the first day with letting you know I think it's important. In fact, Paul says physical training is of benefit, right? There is a benefit to physical training, and we ought to be taking care of our bodies. I think that's very important. I think it's a biblical principle. So I'm going to challenge you today to go on a prayer walk. You can work on your spiritual training and your physical training by just going out and doing a prayer walk. Just walk around and pray and connect with God through physical activity and prayer. And then nutrition is another thing that we talked about, and I'm really, really concerned about us getting the proper spiritual nutrition. We need to be in the Word every day. We need to be diving into it. We need to be praying over it. We need to be determining what it is that God wants us to know. And then yesterday, I told you that there's a couple of things that I think that you need to do if you want to be successful. And the first thing was you need a mentor. You need somebody that you can connect with who will help you on your journey. And I appreciate it. A few of you responded and said, hey, you're my spiritual mentor. And that's one of the things that I do. And I think it's important to have that person or people in your life. And then the other thing I told you is you need to connect with a church. You need to get plugged in. And I do not just mean that you belong to a church. I mean you connect with a church. You become part of the church. And if you're from Los Fresnos or the surrounding areas, we invite you to be a part of ours. I know it can be weird sometimes to walk into a new place, but if you're an avid watcher of Coffee and the Word, you probably feel like you already know me. So walk right up to me as if I know you, and we'll have a conversation. Let me invite you into our spiritual family. I think that maybe is one of the things that you can do immediately that will change the outcome of what's going on in your life. Get engaged in a church. And I know we're in the middle of a pandemic. Some of you haven't been to church in months, and you've been trying to do the online thing and it just doesn't have the same feel. We do have on-site services at 11 o'clock, and if that gets to where we can't do it safely, we'll do an 11 and a 12, whatever we have to do, because I do think fellowship is vitally important. So I told you there were three things, and the third thing is really interesting because I think it is the single most profitable thing when it comes to physical exercise. So one of the things that I love to do is I love to go and I work out with somebody. I like to do this journey with somebody. My wife and I get up every morning and we work out side by side, and what she's doing drives me, and what I'm doing drives her, and we compete kind of with each other, but we're also encouraging one another, and so the concept biblically is the one another concept. Like, you're not supposed to try and accomplish your faith journey by yourself. Back when I was doing a different workout program, I used to have one of my young adults named George, and sometimes America would come over, and my whole goal was to work out harder to drive them harder. And I think there is an accountability aspect of the one another lifestyle. And so, you'll notice that all of these are relational. I really think it's important to you to have a mentor in your life, somebody that you can turn to with the deep, important questions. I called him a trainer, right? But then I think you also need to have a church. You need to have a community that you're accountable to, that you're responding to. And the last one is, I think you need to have a partner that you're doing this journey with. And sometimes it can be 3 or 4 people that you've all decided we're going to be accountable to each other. We're going to encourage one another. We're going to push each other to greater heights. And I think that needs to be somebody you have a close relationship with. I think you need that in your physical life. If you want to start a physical training program, get somebody to go on the journey with you. Get somebody that you two can go on this journey together. You can check on one another. You can pray for one another. You can encourage one another. And the same is true in your spiritual journey. And I'm going to tell you, those of you who are married, the person that you need to be doing that with the most is your spouse. You and your spouse need to be on this spiritual journey together. And if you can do the physical journey together, that's great too. But I want you to understand what that looks like. So it isn't one-upmanship, it's service. When just before Jesus was going to go to the cross, he decided to teach his disciples a lesson by washing their feet. And if you want to read about this, it's in John chapter 13. But Jesus gets on his knees and begins washing his disciples' feet. And this is what he says at the end of all of it. What I have done to you, do to one another. And so I think it's important for us to realize that our connection with another person should be an exercise in service. You serving them serving you. And that's a great plan for marriage. That's a great plan for every relationship. You don't become focused on your own things. You become focused on the things of somebody else. So pick up somebody else's burden, help them along the way, encourage them, strengthen them, walk this life together. A cord of 3 strands is not easily broken, and we together are better. And so I gave you 3 things, and all of them are relational, and I just want to remind you of all of them again. Number 1, you need somebody who is a mentor, somebody who is stronger in the faith, who can mentor you through what's going on. This would be your trainer. You need your community. You need the church as a whole that you can come and be accountable to, that you can gain fellowship with, that you can build relationships with. And then I think number 3, you need somebody that you're doing it intimately with, that you're encouraging one another daily. You're working out spiritually together daily. These are the things that I think will change your outcome. When you declare that you're going to make a change, when you declare that you're going to become stronger, better in your physical or your spiritual life, accountability is key. Getting someone that is relying on you and that you're relying on. So I hope this helps. I do believe that we all need to be engaged, especially in these times, in some serious spiritual and physical training. God bless you. This is Thursday. Tomorrow will be a special edition of Q&A from Denton, Texas, because that's where I'm headed today. I'm going to go up there and take Chance a car, and I'll be back on Saturday. But I don't know what time that one will drop, but it will drop tomorrow. We're going to talk more about angels. So I look forward to you jumping on and seeing that tomorrow. Please make sure you like this video, whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube. Make some comments if you want. Throw in some questions if you have them. I really, really am encouraged by your interaction with these videos. Thank you guys for watching. This has been another edition of Coffee